in a grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter whether you're seeing a massage therapist, a physio, a chiro, or an osteo, or naturopath in that sense, or acupuncturist in that sense, because it depends on the situation of what stage of injury, the type of that injury is with that person. So every profession I just named, physio, chiro, osteo, massage therapist, naturopath, acupuncturist, traditional Chinese medicine acupuncturist, can all treat the same. We all know how to treat conditions. We all know how to treat whatever conditions there may be. We all learn that, all study from school. So if you're asking me who's qualified to do that, we're all qualified to do that. But the difference between the two is at what stage is meant for, or better in that sense, for the specific profession to be more involved. So for example, if someone with low back pain, like muscle spasm, things like that, if the muscle spasm is caused by a injury, then I'd say go for massage therapy. Massage therapies can work on the soft tissue a lot more. I'm not saying to be blunt, but they do spend their whole entire education on working just on the soft tissue. So, hey, let them do the massage therapy based on that, on the soft tissue work. And then after that, you can have a physio to involve to strengthening the muscle groups around the area to support whatever is happening. Or perhaps you'll need an osteo to look at the joint position, something is off, therefore it's causing the muscle spasm happening in the first place. We won't know which step to do or who to see until we actually do a full diagnostic panel. So the full diagnostic panel is when you listen to the lifestyle, what their problem is, how did it happen, what do they do on a daily basis, and prior to this feeling of pain, was it there from 10 years ago? Was it there 15 years ago? This is the first time they experienced it, or they may have sprained something when they were a kid, and then later on the imbalances on their knee, the ankles, and the hips leading up to a problem. Now they're starting to feel the pain. So the diagnostic part is more crucial versus then seeing whoever profession it is to treat or whatever condition it may be. Because we're all taught the same, we're all taught how to treat it. But looking at the global more scale is look at every single person, A, B, C, and D, as an individual case. Don't treat it as, here's a low back pain, I'm gonna treat the rest for A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Everyone's gonna be the same treatment plan. I'm just gonna treat there and then call it a day because they have pain there. You have to look at what's connected to that back pain in the first place that's causing that. Then you treat that, then you can treat the symptoms. Otherwise, you're doing what we like to call symptomatic treatments, like you're just treating the symptoms. For example, like you have a cold and you take Advil or Advil cold or Tylenol cold just to help with masking the symptoms, like helping with the relief of that, which is great. It is helping with it. It's not completely useless. It does help with it because you're helping with the symptoms. But the cause of the problem is still there. So until you identify it, you're always doing symptomatic treatments. Now there's a lot of therapists out there, whatever profession you're in, physios, chiro, osteo, et cetera, there are always a professional that will treat symptomatics, always. And there are always those that would look beyond the point of symptomatic treatments. So I'm not gonna say osteo will only do that because I know a lot of physios that will do that, and I know a lot of chiropractors that will also do that as well. So this is not based on a profession, but more so the professional, the person who is looking at beyond that point. That's the main difference. The osteo looks at not just the biomechanics like nerve, the blood flow, the lymphatic flow. We look at the overall course of the whole body. Whereas chiro, again, I'm not a chiropractor, so I can't really vouch for what a chiro can specifically do, but they are focused on more neurological. They are also looking at the whole body as well, but more in terms of like the neurological stance. So again, I can't vouch for a chiro because I'm not a chiropractor. So I think a chiropractor would be more able to explain that a little bit more clear than I would be able to. But that being said, like a lot of clinicians are starting to see more of the whole picture instead of just focusing on the symptomatic treatments. No, we always do referrals. So even for myself, when I see something wrong, when it comes to a certain low back pain or a certain shoulder pain or neck pain, something like that, and I were to see that, at this given time and point, because of this injury, whether it's acute basically means that this condition has only been there for X amount of days or just within the 1 or 2 weeks time frame. I mean, if this were to be more of a spasm tissue, then I might just refer to an RMT to do the work instead of me doing the work. It's not because I don't know how to treat it. It's just because the RMT can spend more time and they're more training on spending on to do that type of work. So you might as well let the massage therapist do that work. So like I said, it's all given on certain time for certain profession. Has nothing to do with whether they are trained or not trained to do something. We're all trained to do it. But in my philosophy and how I feel is more benefit to allocate the resources to a specific thing that they can focus on specifically.